Good afternoon, MPC. Let's now have Presidential Spokesperson and Chief Presidential Legal Counsel, Salvador Panelo.
Good noon, MPC members. How about Pia, wala rin? Ang daming absent Oh, Julie, mukhang may tanong ka. Wala pa.
MPC questions? Nestor, RJ.
Sir, is the president aware of the incident in China, in the West Philippine Sea?
Oh, definitely.
What did he say?
He is outraged by that. We issued a statement, right?
Yes, sir. And
That's it.
So-
The Secretary of the DFA has already filed a diplomatic protest this morning. This morning ba o hapon?
you said, sir, the behavior of those Chinese fishermen was uncivilized.
And outrageous and barbaric.
Does the palace take that as a form of bullying on the part of the Chinese?
Whether it's a form of bullying or not, it's outrageous, it's barbaric, it's uncivilized.
So when
And we're condemning it.
Yeah, when our countrymen are bullied, is a diplomatic protest enough?
What do you want? You want to
So
declare war?
what other options do we have?
Well, that's the first thing you should do.
But what are other options
We
do we
call the Chinese government to probe the incident and to impose punitive action against those at fault.
So for now, we don't have any other options apart from filing a diplomatic protest.
Malakas na nga yung ginawa natin, pinanatan na kagad natin immediately. Antayin natin kung anong resulta.
All right, thank you.
Follow up, Nestor, and then
Sir, because in past incidents, the Philippine government has been filing diplomatic protests against China, but they seem to ignore our protests. Are we
They
not?
hindi natin alam yon. Tanungin natin Secretary Luxing kung totoo yung sinasabi mo.
Okay, given that condition, sir. Pero kasi palagi na tayo nagpa-file ng diplomatic protest, pero paulit-ulit na may ganitong mga nangyayari. Are we not, hindi ba natin to iaakyat sa UN yung case?
Tingnan natin. Let's wait for Secretary Luxing.
Arian, microphone, please.
Sir, Senator Hontiveros called on President Duterte this morning to recall ambassadors, our ambassador and consuls in China following the collision. Ano pong reaction ng Palace?
Wala.
We're not considering it, sir.
Lahat ng options kinukonsider yan. We don't need the advice of the good senator on that.
Pero sir, right now po, it's not on the table, sir.
Bahala na si Secretary Luxing.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Ace Romero.
Sec, these incidents are happening even if we have a BCM. Anong sinasabi nito about the effectivity ng BCM between China and the Philippines?
Anong sinasabi?
What does this say
anong tingin
about
mo?
yung bilateral consultation mechanism? Nangyayari pa rin to and we have repeatedly, promised to maintain a peaceful environment pero nangyayari yung ganito.
It happens eh. Anong magagawa natin kung it happens? They are still talking and some incidents, hindi naman natin alam kung sinadya or may sanction ng Chinese government. Hindi pa nga natin alam kung sino ba may-ari nun. Is that a private vessel, ship, or what? Kaya nga natin pinapa-imbestigahan sa kanila. We're calling their attention. Do something about it. We want to know.
Sige, Sec.
Okay, follow up, Greg, TV5.
Hi, Sec. May epekto po ba sa friendship between Philippines and China itong incidenting ito? Because Senator Lacson said, we do not treat our friends like that and we don't expect to be treated that way either.
Siyempre, it will always affect the relationship if certain incidents of that nature comes up.
And the diplomatic protest is enough?
Meron
for
na
that?
nga, di ba?
Okay. Please state your name.
Hi, Sir. Julie from DZME po. Senator Lacson said din po na kailangan magkaroon ng leader-to-leader talk. Kino-consider po ba ng Palace ngayon yun between Chinese government and Philippines?
That's the call of the president. Let's wait for him.
Okay, sir.
Follow up. MPC, other issue. A follow-up, Tina, and then Chona. Tina, microphone please.
Sir, if I recall it right, nabanggit naman ni Presidente kay Chinese President Xi Jinping yung issues, yung presence ng some Chinese vessels sa area ng West Philippine Sea. Pero nangyari pa rin tong incident dito. Do you consider this an act of aggression against Philippines?
Hindi pa nga natin alam yung yung exactly kung ano yung ship na yon. We want to find out first if it was intentional, ibang usapan na yan. Ibang usapan na yan pang intentional.
So we will rely on the investigation of the Chinese authorities? Wala ba
Iimbestigahan
tayong
din natin,
sarili
di ba? Iimbestigahan din natin eh. Sino ba may-ari nun?
So such acts, whether it's Chinese or any other foreign country or foreign vessel, it's not considered an act of aggression against
Well,
Philippine
definitely, if it
nationals?
is intentional, it's an act of aggression.
And what should be the next step po?
O, ano pang step? O, di we will cut off diplomatic relations. Yan ang unang ginagawa ng mga, pag mayroong mga aggressive acts. First, magdi-diplomatic protest ka. Kung hindi ka kontento sa paliwanag nila, at nakita natin na talagang sinadya, ibang usapan yan. Our responses will always be calibrated, depende sa degree. But definitely, we will not allow ourselves to be assaulted, to be bullied, to be the subject of such barbaric, uncivilized, and outrageous actions from any source.
Thank you, sir.
Chona?
Sir, after the incident kahapon sa Recto Bank, may bago bang communications ang China sa Pilipinas to reach out, to explain kung...
Wala pa, may diplomatic protest pa lang. We're waiting for a response.
Okay, Cedric.
Sir, good afternoon po. Let me just, sir, get your reaction, sir, specifically on the statement of former Secretary Del Rosario, former SFA. Sir, and I quote, "We need to find a way to hold China's leadership accountable and that we must also now consider a multilateral approach, sir."
He doesn't have to tell us what to do. We know what to do.
Okay, still on China.
Dapat ginawa nila yan noon nung sila yung nandiyan pa.
Virgil?
Sir, in relation lang dun sa question ni Chona, is there a need for the government to summon the Chinese ambassador for him to personally explain yung side nila regarding
I think we don't
the
have to
incident?
summon him.
Kasi-
If he's listening now, he should explain.
Okay. Please state your name, please.
Good afternoon, Sexy and Arcangel from CNN Philippines. Sir, on another matter, is there a scheduled meeting between President Duterte and Pastor Joel Apolinario in Jensen? There were reports to that effect today.
I've not received any info on that.
Okay, follow up. Okay, Julie.
Sir, you mentioned earlier that the Philippines is taking calibrated steps depending on the response of
Yes.
China. First, the diplomatic protest. If the diplomatic protest doesn't go well, are we, as you said, are we prepared to go the way of Canada and possibly cut or diminish diplomatic ties?
Well, given the steps undertaken by the president on the Canada trash issue, that's more likely.
Meaning, sir, you might, the second step would be lessening diplomatic ties at this point.
As I said, given his action prior, baka yun din, o baka mas severe pa. Hindi natin alam. We'll leave it to the president.
Sir, on another related note, the president has been personally informed of the Chinese incident, correct?
Yeah, alam niya na yan.
Would you know his exact reaction when...
Wala, hindi pa kami nagkakausap tungkol doon.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Still on China? Raymond? Walang follow-up? Okay, the other issue, Hania?
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, may reaction po ba si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte about dun sa Pinay na ni-rape ng isang Kuwaiti police airport officer po.
I don't know if, well, I haven't talked to him with that, but we're certainly outraged by that. And Secretary Bello is responding to that incident.
Okay, sir. Sir, isa pa pong issue. Regarding po, sir, sa speakership po, sir, kasi parang nahihirapan po yung PDP laban na pumili po ng kandidato nila dahil nga wala po silang nakuhang consensus nung nag-meeting po sila. And they need the decision of President Duterte kung sino po ang pipiliin niya doon sa mga kandidato ng PDP laban.
The President will not interfere.
So hindi na po magbabago yung desisyon ng Pangulo. He will not endorse anyone from PDP laban.
He never endorsed. Di ba?
Questions, MPC?
What they should do, I think the PDP laban should, what they should do is to have a secret balloting and get the sentiments of the members. Who gets the highest, di yan ang magiging manok nila.
RJ?
Sir, the President also said
Well, that
last...
reminds me, RJ, I just saw your, anong tawag doon, yung Facebook account ba o yung account mo sa ano? Ang ganda ng sombrero mo. Hindi kita nakilala eh. Profile picture mo, iba.
Anyway, sir, the President said last night that he
Iba
wants...
dating, RJ, nagulat ako. I couldn't believe it. My goodness. Anyway,
sir, the President said last night that the party lists are being exploited by the rich, and their representatives are not actually marginalized. So what does he want? Does he want these party lists abolished?
baka papunta ron kung ganyan ang sentimento niya. Or baka gusto niya na yung nagre-represent coming from that sector.
So in what way can he do that?
Abay, nasa ano ka, actually nasa ano yan eh. Nasa COMELEC. Sila ang nag-qualify ng mga nominees. Diba?
So the President wants COMELEC to review.
No, he's expressing an idea. And that's for the COMELEC to respond to it.
All right, thank you.
Follow-up, Chona.
Sir, then why did the President endorse some party list groups during the last election? He endorsed some party list groups.
Like who?
One Pacman ba yun? I can't remember, sir, pero may mga endorsement siya, TV advertisements.
Bakit? Yung bang in-endorse niya, hindi representing the sector? Huh?
One Pacman, sir, si Romero. Romero is a millionaire. She's congressman.
Eh, baka naman may record yung nominee na talagang fighting for the principle.
Raymond, may follow-up ka muna? Follow.
Sir, again regarding the speakership race, Senator Manny Pacquiao said na nagpakuha siya ng schedule para makausap si Presidente about the PDP laban sa candidate for speaker. Sir, would you know kung may ganong nakaschedule na meeting?
Hindi ko alam. Sa social secretary yun eh.
And then, kasi sir, sabi ni Senator Pacquiao is i-announce daw po yung PDP laban candidate for speaker by Friday. So, kung may meeting po ngayon, sir, may
Hindi ko alam. Sa social, ano yun? Supposed to be office nga ng social secretary dapat yun. Or appointments office rather. Kay Miss Lisette Marquez.
Raymond?
Sir, going back to the collision issue. Sir, after the collision, bayan mo na Representative Carlos Isagani Sarate calls for a joint military patrols over West Philippine Sea between Philippines, Malaysia, Vietnam, and other claimants of some disputed territories para daw maiwasan yung maulit yung nangyaring collision. Do you subscribe or are you open to that proposal?
The Defense Department will be the one to decide what's the best move for that.
But again, after the collision and more aggressive actions of China over West or South China Sea, aren't we considering the invitation of more U.S. presence in the South China Sea?
That's speculative.
Why?
Oh, huwag mo doon. You're speculating. Because sabi mo, that might call attention. Hindi natin alam yun.
So we do not wish for a more presence of U.S. forces in the area.
Di ba meron kang statement doon? Kung makakatulong yun sa katahimikan ng lugar na yun, okay lang sa atin yun. Whatever. Basta, as far as we're concerned, we will not allow our sovereignty to be trashed upon.
By China.
By anybody. By any foreign country. Including the U.S.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, MPC, may tanong pa kayo? Other issue? Rosalie. Paabot ng microphone.
Sir, regarding sa nangyayaring mass protest po sa Hong Kong, may mga Pilipino po na maaaring maapektuhan kapag lumala yung sitwasyon doon. So, ano po yung preparasyon na ginagawa ng pamahalaan?
Si Secretary Bello ang nakakaalam ko ng preparasyon na gagawin niya. Siya ang teritoryo niya yan. I remember, meron na rin ganyang pangyayari noon, di ba? Mas matindi pa nga yata noon. Hindi naman naapektuhan yung mga
So for now, there's nothing to worry about for the
wala
palace.
naman.
How about if lumala po yung sitwasyon, sir?
Edi, kung ano yung response ng gobyerno noon, yun din magiging response natin.
And that is?
Edi, alagaan natin yung ating mga overseas workers. Kung ano man yun, nakakaalam nun, Department of Labor.
Do you have any advice po para sa mga kababayan nating Pinoy na nasa Hong Kong?
Ano gusto mong advice bigay natin? What advice can you give them except to just wait for...
To show concern for our mga...
Hindi. Alam mo, mga overseas workers, alam nila na ang gobyernong ito, lalo na si Presidente Duterte, ay mapang-alaga sa kanila. Walang kaduda-duda yun. They don't even have to ask help. Alam na nila yun eh. Kaya nga kita mo, overwhelming ang botong tinanggap niya.
Sir, sundutin ko lang po sa China. Sa China po,
Sige.
yung pong sa coalition. Kasi in April, regarding the issue po nung mga namataang Chinese vessel near the Pag-asa Island, the President said he is willing to compromise. Pero ibang usapan na raw po pagka merong nasaktang Pilipinong mangingisda o mga sundalo. So this time, is the President still willing to compromise? And ano po yung...
Ano yung sabihin ng compromise? Ha?
Makipag-ayos, sir.
Makipag-ayos pag?
With China regarding dun sa mga hundreds of Chinese vessels nga malapit sa teritoryo po natin. Pero this time, may nasaktan at nanganib na buhay ng mga Pilipinong mangingisda. So hanggang saan?
Ano yung sabihin makipag-compromise?
Hanggang saan po
Ano
pwedeng...
yung sabihin makipag-compromise? Hindi ko maintindihan yung makipag-compromise yan. Kasi alam ko yung mga vessels, di ba nawala na? Ang paliwanag kasi ni Ambassador Zhao noon, nung nandun pa kami sa China, it was a fishing season. And sabi niya, nangyayari nga yung sinabi niya kasi sabi niya, by next month, mawawala na yan kasi mag-aalisa na yan. Iba naman yun. Iba naman yata yung sinasabi. Ibang lugar naman yun. Yung clam naman yung sinasabi mo.
Okay, Rosalie?
Sir, balikan ko lang yung statement ni President para din po ma-refresh kayo. We go into a compromise for the time being kasi hindi nga...
Ulitin mo nga.
We go into a compromise for the time being kasi hindi nga if we go to war or there is a violent conflict, we would never win and I would suffer beyond imagination. And then, sinabi niya na pag ang nagalaw nyo, mga Pilipinong mangisda or soldiers, ibang storya na yan.
Yun pala eh. That answers your question. Sinabi niya na nga eh.
So,
pag-compromise siya. Kung hindi masyadong grabe. Pero kung nasakta ng mga Pilipino, ibang usapan na. Yun ang sagot sa...
So ano nga
sinagot
po, sir?
ka na nga ni Presidente. Ano pa sagot? Ano? It's in the statement you just read.
Meaning to say, sir, the President is now willing to go to war dahil may nasaktan na nga pong Pinoy at mangisda.
Sinabi niya yun, di ba? That's what he said. Ibang usapan na yun. Now, whether he means na makikipagyera siya is another thing. Pwede. Ha? Hindi naman niya sinabing pupunta sa gera. Sinabi niya, ibang usapan na yan. Okay, tatanungin natin kung anong gusto niya sabihin. Kasi baka sinabi ko, hindi naman pala ibig niya sabihin. Kailangan titingnan natin exactly yung mga sinasabi ng Presidente.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
We cannot be jumping into conclusions.
Okay, MPC, may tanong pa kayo?
Sabagay, kayo naman, ang hinahanap niya naman
Cedric.
headline.
Sir, doon pa rin po sa collision, sir. Would you consider this an isolated situation or incident, sir, or an outright bullying sanctioned by the state of China, sir?
Hindi natin, we're waiting for their official response. Pag merong, kung anong response nila, may action tayo na.
Okay na, MPC, may tanong pa? Oh, Raymond, last question na si Raymond.
Sir, dun sa some members of the Kappa are appealing to the president to halt or stop the shutting down of the investment scheme. So will the president ever lend an ear to their
As far as the president is concerned, kasi there is a continuing crime of swindling or stuffing. Yung mga nakikiusap, from what I gather, from what I heard from them, kasi nakakatanggap sila eh. Eh, hindi ba ganyan naman ang, yun ang nature ng pyramiding. Ang makakatanggap, yung mga nauuna. Parang maingganyo ka. Pagka after that, biglang sasabog na.
So no, sorry.
Naki-presidente yan. Pero basta yan ang line ni president. Kasi you have to look at his position. Ang position niya, as far as he is concerned, there is a continuing crime.
So,
Kaya nga pinasarado niya.
The NBI even admitted that this is the biggest Punchi scheme.
The what? The NBI has?
Described as the biggest Ponzi scam in the history. So,
billion nga naman.
Yes, kasi parang hundreds of millions daw yung payout a day. So, will the shutting down will be relentless?
What do you mean will be relentless?
Mr.
Kung shutdown, di wala na.
Yes, because there are still offices and Pastor Joel Apolinario is still at large.
Kailangan kasi merong court. Kung gusto nilang operational sila, siguro they will have to file a case in court.
Thank you, sir.
Rosalie?
Sir, sundot lang po sa Kappa. Many members of the Kappa International Ministry expressed outrage due to the president's order to close. Is the president worried about losing the support of these Kappa members? Because they say...
Ba't sinabi mo nga millions? You're concluding na lahat sila. Ang naririnig lang natin sa TV, yung mga nagsasalita, pailan-ilan eh. Wala naman yung entire... Di ba?
They even question the timing, sir.
There are millions, di ba? Ang miyembro dyan. Sabi nila. Eh kung makita mo yung milyon nasa kalsada, yun ang we can say na they are outraged and they are all against it. Pero kung 1, 2, 3, 4 lang, hindi ba natin alam yun?
Pero sir, they even question the timing daw po. Bakit after the elections daw po? Since early this year pa, nagbigay na po ng cease and desist order ang SEC against Kappa, pero the president parang personal niyang ipinag-utos yung closure just after the election.
Kasi marami na nagre-reklamo sa kanya. At saka may cease and desist order. Ibig sabihin, yung government agency natin talagang nakita nila na scam nga. Eh kasi can you imagine nga naman 30% ang binibigay mo tapos yung mga bangko natin pinakamataas na yung 9%, 7 pa nga.
Thank you, sir.
Okay na? No more questions? Okay, thank you, Secretary Panelo.
Pero subukan nyo kaya mag-invest. Tingnan natin kung... wala na, hindi ka na pa pwede. Noon sana. Usually, ganyan ang ginagawa. Yung mga matatalino, they really invest. Kasi alam nila, makakatanggap sila eh. Kasi sila ang una eh. And then, After that, di na sila mag-invest. Marunong din eh. Hindi.
Okay, thank you, Secretary Panela. Thank you.
Sa bangko na lang ako.
Thank you, MPC. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.